Welcome back to VALORANT Champions. I'm standing alongside FNATIC's head coach, Mini, after they really obliterated FUT on map 1. And Mini, I want to ask you this very quickly. Dynasties oftentimes, across all sports, when they lose a map or lose a series or something that they probably aren't expected to, there's a little extra there, a little chip on the shoulder, a little extra edge that you want to prove that it was a fluke, that it shouldn't have happened, that the dynasty is here to stay. Was there any element of that in conversation leading up to the series, or is it just take care of the series, take care of the team, and move on?
I mean, I don't think we really think of ourselves as a dynasty, and I think we let that kind of talk be external to the team. We just kind of come to tournaments wanting to win and just make sure we don't think in that mode because it's really unhealthy, I think. So yeah, it was just we lost the game. Like, we lost the game against a very good team. I think they should have probably beat DRX in that group stage. They played a weird comp on Ascent and then decided to screw our bracket over. But no, they had a very good preparation, very good game plan against us, and they're loud. Like, they're a very good team. So it's just the same as usual. Unfortunately, we're clawing it back from the lower bracket, and that is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys pull it off, it's going to be as historic could possibly be. Best of luck to you, dude. Back to you guys.
They're a team that's simply looking to just win, and they did just that in map 1 in dominating fashion, taking out FUT on split. Welcome back, everyone. Golden Boy here alongside with Sideshow, as well as Balla. Let's just jump into this because there were really cool ideas that we were seeing. Even in a game where FNATIC are heavily favored, it's still great to see them implement, Balla, these really unique ideas. Like round 7 was one that I know you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
It was probably the most creative thing I saw throughout the entire game. Boaster smokes deep into spawn here, and then fakes a TP to make it seem like he's actually lurking in their spawn. And it takes so much time to clear this out. Look, Krax can't clear this information for the rest of his team, and they have to be ready to actually hit the beach side. So they're all falling back looking at that smoke, and that allows Durka to entry just really perfectly. The other thing, though, is that FNATIC are just hitting their shot. So despite any creative ideas like this, it's really difficult for FUT to not only deal with that aspect of the game, but then also try to challenge Durka, who's just double satcheling all over the place.
Yeah, the Durka entries have just been phenomenal, but actually every player is hitting their shots, and that I think was part of the issue when they played against Loud. You know, I don't know what the reason was. Chronicle had a birthday game that didn't exactly go too well. I think it's very funny that Chronicle's just been incredible from the age of 20 and below, turns 21, has a birthday game against Loud, doesn't go so well. But now he's immediately back.
Dots, people.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
21, Los Angeles. But then comes back out in this game with a vengeance, and Chronicle's just been spectacular. The whole team has been spectacular.
I'll now take this slander on my goat.
Well, exactly. He's the most decorated player in Valorant, and he's popping off, and the whole team is popping off. I mean, they're just owning. He's got a KDA of 2.3. They're dominating, and FUT's big win condition is winning a lot of these duels, right? Yeah. When it comes to a bit of a raw fight, or maybe they're even disadvantaged, actually winning the fight against FNATIC. And they're not doing that currently. They've got to do it in match 2 and 3.
Yeah, you couldn't agree more. It's definitely a bit of a pain point, most definitely for this FUT team to try and be able to squeeze out those rounds. Actually takes us over to our AIM Lab shoot around, because this time we're going to be checking in with Kiwi. And let's talk about how this FUT team gets back into it, because we mentioned it in the pre-show, right? That if there was a way for them to do this, it could come from Haven, it could come from Bind. But the problem is you're already putting yourself back against the wall at such a deficit here, being down 0-1 in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to the gunfights, Kiwi is a guy that a lot of people constantly put as the star on this team. He hasn't been hitting throughout this tournament, but he's not really being given the opportunities to. When you look at a lot of star duelists on your team, a lot of times you have to put them in the right positions. For example, Durka on FNATIC in that game. That's the reason they stopped. It was such a lopsided game. He needs to come alive. They need another spark, whether it's Kiwi, whether it's Krax, anybody has to come online.
And I'm a little concerned because we're going into Haven where they usually play Krax on the Gecko. And he plays really far back, throwing his bubbles from miles away, just yeeting stuff into sight. And that doesn't set you up in a position to be able to actually impact things with your rifle very well. And I think that to me is one of the major concerns, because they need things to be working from a rifling point of view.
Yeah, and as we head into the second map, I know you talked a lot about how FUT didn't pick Bind, given the fact that they actually beat FNATIC in the regular season on that. Yeah. And there's questions about it, because now we're going to Haven. FNATIC just played their map pick, and it is that Gecko comp. That one is interesting. It's something that FNATIC have to have prep for, not necessarily in terms of like trying to counter, but just knowing, okay, we have to break this there. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's a really good point, because the way that they lost Bind in the regular season was not being prepared for Krax's KO. Leo.
Yes.
Putting those flashes into backside of Bind A and getting caught off by that. That was one of the big win conditions, or rather loss conditions for FNATIC. And if they're not ready for the Gecko or for whatever weird stuff FUT end up picking out in the Agent Select, then yeah, maybe we're going to see our first deadlock and it's going to be a game changer and FNATIC end up bombing out of the tournament. What universe would we end up living in if that was the case?
Well, it ain't going to happen here today, but we are going to get LA's favorite son, Gecko, into the action here as we have FUT Esports rocking the Gecko, Cracks back at that role again. But again, this goes back to exactly what we were talking about. FNATIC, they know what, you have to at least be aware that they're going to try and run this sideshow. But now it's a question of whether or not you can get Cracks in a position to have him have that impact in the server the way that they need in this map.
And I don't think they will be able to on the Gecko. I think it's going to come down a little more to Kiwi, because I think he's the player that's going to end up getting supported a lot, put at the tip of the spear with those double initiator players, and he's going to have a tough task going up against Alpha when he starts, when the sides flip and he's on the attack side.
Yeah, I think it's super crucial to point out Kiwi on this one on defense. The battle against Durka is super important. FNATIC throw a lot of curveballs in terms of which side of the map they're going for. And for FUT, I mean, at this point, this is the comp that they've been rolling with, the only team that's really running Gecko in general on a specific map for long stretches of time. And globally, they haven't had as much success as you'd like to see going up against FNATIC and thinking that they might have a chance. I don't think there's much of it.
Yeah, this is going to be a very tough one. I also want to see them bounce back very strongly in map 2 and not let that first loss hit them too hard.
Well, let's see if FUT can force a map 3 or if it's going to end here and now. Let's send it right back over to your casters, Achilleos and Paperthin.
Thank you very much, Desk. Yes, it's time to go into this map. The selection for FUT and where they need to stage this run back. They need to get this win, extend us over to Bind. Because as they were talking about, before we got into this series, before we even saw Split, these last 2 maps, these are the ones that do favor FUT a bit more. So this is where that could come to fruition, but we need to see some tighter play. Everybody hitting their shots from FUT, everybody being on the same page. We've had a couple standout moments from the likes of Mr. Fallen, from Ada Captain, some nice lurks from Maj. Can it all come together here on Haven to take us to 3?
And as good as those moments have been for FUT, on the other side of the coin, FNATIC's right back to the kind of FNATIC we've known and loved. Great protocols, great coordination, great decision-making, good mid-rounding, just reading their opponents so well. Fault line here, trying to bait a little bit. They're just going to get that orb over to Chronicle. Going to take a little bit of damage for his trouble. But again, getting those Rolling Thunders online early is so important.
I mean, Ada Captain just having to burn the paranoia to get himself out of dodge. He'll stay safe. Now FNATIC getting some good damage across. Kiwi as well tagged up on that C-long peak.
And that's drawing Mr. Fallen all the way over into spawn with that so important breach utility. With that Omen paranoia already gone, now you're relying on the Gecko and the breach to set you up.
Kiwi, though, getting a lot of information for the team, pushing forward. Obviously still needs to clear out mid, which is where that spike is being brought up at the moment.
And the turret in mid window isn't set up for this lurk, so he could do some real damage here.
Catch getting ready to come through as Chronicle, as well as Durka are backing up. They don't have their pistols drawn out, but Kiwi can't win the fight. Gets a smattering of damage there on the Durka. Spike now going to be planted as they go ahead and pull away. Dizzy dealt with very quickly. Crack's only going to be good for 1. Chronicle puts him down. Now everything to do here from Maj and Mr. Fallen to try to get their first pistol round win.
One
Gets
enemy
stunned up,
remaining.
pulled back away, and Alpha here on the flank, making his way out of Garage. Gets himself a kill. Maj able to find 1. Knows that he's on the flank and doesn't know which way to really turn his attention, so ends up getting taken down by Leo. That's going to be FNATIC winning yet another pistol.
And it's heartbreaking here for FUT. It's such a good idea from Kiwi, but he just can't connect the shots. You can see Chronicle there, didn't have the gun out, but able to find just enough space to get back behind that wall. And then, yeah, Crack's doing what he can with the Dizzy. But already, FNATIC on high alert after that first lurk. Going to make sure that there isn't going to be another.
Wow. Triple rifle purchase here for FNATIC as well.
Why not?
If there's ever a time to pull off a Thrifty, this would be the one for FUT. It would deal so much damage.
Of course, you got to know Boaster's got that Marshall. Absolutely loves to lock it down, and him and Alpha going to be holding out against this potential push out of A. It's a 3-man stack. A couple Paranoia as the Dizzy here could lead the way for FUT. I think you could throw that Dizzy up and over potentially as well.
Does he still fault line over here towards A lobby? He's looking to set this one up. There's Mr. Fallen. And turn the sights over towards C, but looks like he will just go ahead and shelve that for now. Push forward, Alfier making some noise. They haven't had any eyes on this A-long position, so they have to suspect that there's at least one player that's pushed up into this spot. The swing in, Durka, guns down two. Had a Captain Kiwi, just didn't stand a chance, even with that fault line, just not making the contact that was necessary. 3 quick kills. And the A site is completely opened up. Mr. Fallen trying to go on a little bit of a flank here. If he could catch Alpha, he's low HP, could recover a weapon, maybe deal a little bit of additional damage, but Leo is wise to it. Catches him on that lurk forward. Handover on the spike to Chronicle to get that plant. It's going to put him just 2 away now from that first Rolling Thunder. He's building these up ever so quickly. Alfier spotted, but he spotted Push as well. And well, not having that armor means that he gets taken out. FNATIC starting things off 2-0 in flawless fashion there in the anti-eco.
And this methodical nature here from FNATIC, not only handling this little trap play attempted by FUT very nicely, but funneling these orbs into Chronicle to get these Rolling Thunder so early, trying to really press their advantage here against FUT. On this attacker side, that super crucial ultimate that Chronicle is going to have in that back pocket potentially, and now FNATIC going to spread their side of the map a little bit, continue to kind of keep track of any push-outs or anything like that. A fault line here, Mr. Fallen has to get out as that recon dart going to force the position. Leo going to follow up with the Owl drone. But so far, I don't think FNATIC is committing to this. This is just information gathering, space gaining. Spike still down by their spawn. Don't seem to be too keen to try to push off of this now. Let's see what Alpha's going to do. He's going to try to bounce that grenade up to clear the turret potentially.
And the shock dart is well committed. Leo trying to clear out some of that util, but it's far enough spread on the B site that it actually doesn't find anything. So the nanoswarms and the turret both still do stand. Alarm bot situated. As the warning ping comes down from the FNATIC side, identifying that it is here in garage, and they are able to clear this one out. Cracks in the meantime just sat, waiting, and they're ready, sends out the Dizzy, but everyone's already retreated back out of the garage, so no one's going to get tagged up by this.
That's really good information. Durka waiting for this fault line potentially. Here it comes. Let's see if they can get Kiwi. He's just stuck in the corner, so no real contact, no plays made off of that. Just clearing corners on the other side of the map while they try to push through the B.
Working their way forward. Alfier finding Maj, and now the timing. Durka there, strikes, catches Kiwis. He tries to go on that flank. He's shut down, and they just flush them out of the site. Leo getting cracks. The one player that was situated at backside B. And a captain just stuck here within the smoke, within the nebula. That now dissipates. Boaster playing up close, looking to catch him off guard with this Spectre. Sees the gun barrel, gets the kill. That could be an upgrade, but Mr. Fallen will be able to take him out. But Leo stands strong at the end of it all. That's going to be FNATIC converting the bonus, now moving up 3-0.
Yeah, it's another bonus on their attacker side, just like we saw in Split. And this is just great working up the map here by FNATIC, using a lot of those abilities that you would expect to indicate and execute. It's the Owl drone, the fault line on the A side, really makes FUT kind of lean into that the pressure might be coming through there. And on the other side of the map, they're just clearing utility initially, right? They're just kind of making it look like they're spreading the map, just trying to eliminate some of the information gathering ability of FUT. And they're able to find a really solid B hit. Now Mr. Fallen with a Marshall gravity well to make sure that he cannot do any damage from that angle. Really diligent stuff here from FNATIC, reading these positions very nicely. You do have a captain who snuck up into the long C cubby, but with that alarm bot and Boaster there being watched, FNATIC so smart here right there throughout the start of this Haven.
Worried that there could be this push coming up through the sewer. Eye strain unlocked. That's exactly where Mr. Fallen needs to be ready to try to shut them down. Drone swings through. They can get that dart tag. Fault line crashes across. Damage not found. Aftershock as well dumped just to go ahead and further delay this push coming through. But now answering fault line. Does get the stun here onto Mr. Fallen. Sends it the flash, but Durka's around the backside of sight. Crack's going to be able to find one, but Durka cleans up both. The site now very much opened up. Plant can come through.
Now you've got the alarm bot to watch for the flank from Captain with that stinger. Kiwi with the Marshall. See if he can find some damage here. Waiting for Maj, the Sheriff, to back him up. Gonna work his way up towards heaven, but Durka right around the corner. Chronicle on site. Gonna be very tricky here for FUT.
Spotting one. Shot just not quite landing where they need to. Kill cannot be found. Now ATTIC Captain even just spotted with the smoke, knifes it, swings out, doesn't have the gun at the ready, and even if he did, Alfier's there with a Vandal. Cleans him up. Leo, the only casualty, but he's got plenty of cash here. FNATIC will now go up 4-0.
And this is the FNATIC I love to watch. Just so smart, so aware on the map in so many different ways. In the early part of the round, you know, they've got the alarm bot, they've got the position checked in case ATTIC Captain does get aggressive out of long C, and then they're able to pick that alarm bot up, put it back in towards sewers, and keep track of those flanks to make sure, to really make sure that no extra damage is done by FUT. And everybody's doing the right job. You know, Boaster watching heaven from long A. They've got two right around the corner from the A-Link. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff here from FNATIC.
Looking for a bit of a tempo play here, but everybody is already just pushing their way up over onto the C site. Durka clearing space, checking out all back site. Sees that it's completely empty. That's Plant coming in. Chronicle's already got the ultimate online. So how do you retake this one? Maj is still 3 away from having that lockdown available. They need to try to find some kind of opening pick.
And Boaster going to be coming in late there from the spawn. Retake on with that Thrash, and here comes that Rolling Thunder to keep him at bay.
They got the hit though. Durka going to be stunned up back sight, and he's flushed out. Mr. Paulin coming away with 2, ATTIC Captain with 1. Boaster on that lurk, does find Kiwi, but still more work to be done. Alfier finding another, bringing this back within parity, but the cleanup is going to be coming through, and here in the 5th round, FUT will get themselves on the board.
It's a really nice round here for FUT. Able to dodge a lot of that damage on that execute. Some long, deep nano swarms thrown by Alfier. Clear out backside, and then this retake. Only one player getting caught by that Rolling Thunder. Kiwi sort of gets aware of the lurk by Boaster. Even though he falls to it, they're able to then react to it that much faster. And FUT able to flood in and finish the job. Really nicely handled there on that retake.
Yeah, I mean, ult-wise, also not too bad there. You use Thrash, but you also get that Rolling Thunder out of Chronicle. No 1-for-1 in that regard. Yes, a couple players do die, but with the win, they get themselves enough cash to be able to afford this near full buy coming into this round to see whether or not they can string together a second win.
Now you got a Rolling Thunder of your own as well.
Double face over in sewer. ATTIC Captain's just rushing down, and there's the Rolling Thunder crashing across. Still have to swing onto the corner. They spot him, and cracks. Gets a 2-for-1 special. Alfier and Leo both going to be taken down.
Oh, beautiful setup there with that Rolling Thunder. You don't often see it used into sewers, and it works a treat for FUT. Finding 2 for cracks. Now Durka going to try to change angles here with Boaster. Still Chronicle with that spike over in sewers.
Cracks is still low. And kind of blind spray up into heaven. Good shut him down. Kiwi pivoting somehow manages to get the turn to get that kill. Keeps himself alive. Seemed like he should have been dead to rights, but now it's just Chronicle left standing. Creep up, spots 1. Gets the kill, the stun into the corner. Can't quite line it up. Cracks gets the headshot, a 4K for him. And that's going to be FUT now. Closing the distance just a bit more, down by 2.
Yeah, again, a trap play here that works a treat for FUT. Really nicely done, and cracked 8-4 on that Gecko.
1 off the Thrash again.
Yeah, having a ton of impact. Even if it's not his utility that's necessarily getting it done, the gunplay is so good. Oh, I love that angle from the observers there, showing that double kill from FNATIC's perspective, and even Leo's chuckling a little bit. He knows. But now you've got a ton of ults here for FNATIC. Durka up and over there, trying to use that fault line gravity well combo.
Full commit to the trap play. Doesn't find anything, though.
I like the attempt. I mean, this gets you a lot of space, and, you know, had that caught. We've seen that a couple times where they try to use that grab well right at the edge of that ramp to catch a player of FUT, but so far, FUT hasn't fallen for it. You've got a lockdown, you've got a Hunter's Fury available as well. Cosmic Divide for Boaster, so. And there is that lockdown. They're going to push right onto it. It's not really defended at all here because of that aftershock.
Yeah, I mean, they just forced the back. Hunter's Fury now going to be let loose. Push up into the site, though. Durka going to be good for 1, finds cracks, but then the ATTIC Captain takes him down. Uses the TP to try to reposition. Swing back over in towards main. Finds Mr. Fall, but Alfier looking to break their way into the site. Comes up with a 3K. Maj, the last man standing. And it seemed like this was going to be the setup here for FUT. They cleared the lockdown with relative ease, but then the follow-up is just way too much for them to deal with.
And they kept Durka's Blade Storm from doing significant damage. He's only able to get one. ATTIC doing a great job on site, finding some huge impact kills, but Alfier is just too good with his rifling this year.
He interrupted now. Just managed to find one. Gets two. Maj on for the clutch. It's Leo to deal with it. He's got him. A monstrous 3K from Maj arriving where they least suspected to put FUT within touching distance. Just one more round to tie it up.
Okay. Well, he saw his Killjoy counterpart getting a big 3K, and Maj says, hold on, it's my turn. And now he's got his lockdown, and now the ult's very much in FUT's favor. I mean, so many ults invested in that round, Achilleos, for FNATIC. And they couldn't get it. They couldn't get the round. I mean, the Hunter's Fury, the lockdown. Yeah, Alfier is not, he's already halfway back to it. But still, great handling of a bad situation by FUT.
And this is where things can start to get scary. We're talking about, the desk's talking about how much of a momentum-based team FUT is. This is a bit of wind in their sails. Fault line will force Kiwi off the angle for the time being. Dart as well tags him up. Goes for the re-peek, but eventually the drone has to be cleared, and that also gives up Maj's close hold position. FNATIC not liking what they see on the site, want to pivot away from that operator.
And immediately Kiwi's mirroring their movement. He knows, he can sense without that pressure that he's got to get over towards A. Going to be watching B just in case, but could quickly come through that link to back up ATTIC and Krax on site. ATTIC going to be holding sewers. Krax kind of playing that pseudo breach role here, right behind the dice. Let's see what FNATIC can get done. Oh, great grab well.
Grab well is good, but Krax stands strong, shuts down Durka. ATTIC the timing, however, tries to send down that supportive smoke, ends up getting called by Boaster. Plays down from Kiwi, comes up with two, swing onto the corner, puts some damage down. They know where Alfier is, just stuck within the corner, the spike at Kiwi's feet. Maj threatening the swing out. Alfier spotting his shoulder for a brief little moment. He needs to win that fight first, you would suspect. Tries to go for the little bait there, tossing out the classic. Swing onto the corner, trying to isolate, but can't quite get it done. Kiwi with a perfect rotation, gets himself in pole position, closes out with a 3K and ties us up at 4-4.
I mean, this has been a couple times where Krax has been under pressure with FNATIC utility and still able to come up big and get the kill. We saw it earlier against Chronicle with the fault line, and now here against the Grabwell, still able to get it done, and then Kiwi's got the blade, and they were finding their mark. So well done here by FUT. Great read of FNATIC's rotation, and they were perfectly poised to deal with that, and a little help with a stellar individual effort from Krax.
Something for the crowd watching back in Istanbul to cheer for, something to get excited about. Already just one round away from getting as many rounds as they had on the first map. They get us tied up and they force the timeout out of Mini.
Just beautiful floods from FUT in a couple of these rounds. Once on the C site, now over here onto A. FNATIC, even with some of their stellar utility usage, now they're getting out-dueled a little bit by that Turkish aim. You love to see it. And now the Thrash is back. The lockdown still in Maj's hands. You do have the Rolling Thunder and the Cosmic Divide for Chronicle and Boaster, respectively. A couple away from Alpha's second lockdown. So a lot to play for here for FNATIC. I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to work the map a little bit, try to get an extra Alt Orb into Alpha's hands, see if they can get really close to that lockdown. Because again, FUT doing a good job on that first one, using that Aftershock to prevent FNATIC from really being able to contest their contestation of the lockdown. They were able to clear it. So let's see how FNATIC wants to handle this round. For now, looks like they're not really setting up to get any extra orbs into Alpha's hands off the rip. ATTIC in this spot. No star down just yet to try to go for that grab well play. Instead, just a pop of the smoke. And Alpha going to continue to watch these mid doors with that turret.
Showing a lot of presence here in a mid, but Kiwi, he's set up. Just boosted on top of B. Now they're starting to move away from him. Just Alfier creeping around, takes a brief little peek in, shows an arm. Not enough for him to have seen Kiwi. He turns his sights back over to Garage. Does he end up walking into this?
He's just going to tuck behind the door for now. On the other side of the map, spot onto A, but
FUT's getting a great read on this. Look at the rotations out of the A site.
Exactly.
Starting to shift back.
They're finding that the first point of contact for FNATIC is often not where they're going to end up hitting. Cosmic Divide, though, right across it. Set up for B, it looks like, but I think they're going to try to fake this and go for C.
It works just as well for the C site. Just have to be cognizant of that potential pressure out from Garage and Kiwi. Very fortunately, does have that Cosmic Divide to keep him safe. I'll say thank you very much to Boaster for that one, but
30 seconds left.
push comes in, C site taken, Boaster. Presence made aware by that alarm bot. They try to get him and they manage to find it. Lockdown as well, invested, pushing them back all the way out towards long.
So that's
taken down. Kiwi with a headshot finds him as they go on a merry hunt. The drone's out and Maj gets the catch. Leo taken out. Aftershock forces Sturka off the angle. The flank from Alfier. It needs to come in fast and hard, but it's just not going to be there in time. They hold for the fuse. They get it. FUT will now take the lead. Kiwi dead. Operator going to be stranded there. They're going to try to get it off plat, but they can't get it in time. But it is FUT still coming away with a round win. And it was a costly one at that for the side of FNATIC.
Unbelievable. I love this idea from FNATIC. That Cosmic Divide actually cuts off their side of the C and the A site and gives them what looks like only access to the B site. Instead, Boaster sells that fake really nicely, even adding a smoke of his own to the front of B to try to sell that. Then they shift over to C. They get the plant down. They're playing for long post plants. Chronicles got that rolling thunder, and it gets shut down by Kiwi.
Stun. Gravity well here. On to Kiwi. Just updraft and throwing everything that he possibly can to try to stay alive. But Alfier will manage to spam him out. Finds him through the smokes. Now the push coming through. Durka ready to move up. Counter spam. Cross will force that captain back. And now the lockdown's going to be coming in. But they are not ready for Mr. Fallen. Alfier still does manage to readjust and somehow also gets the kill onto the enemy Omen. Retreat from Cracks gets himself out to safety, and it's just Durka dead. Alfier still standing, yes, low HP, should get taken out here. Somehow Maj not coming away with that one. Gets Leo, and is still standing as well. Very much tagged up. So both players remaining here from FUT. Low HP bars and a rolling thunder on the opposite side that FNATIC could commit to this if they deemed it necessary, but as we can see, the retreat is going to be coming through. FUT have to concede this round and allow for FNATIC to tie it up.
And I love the change of pace here from FNATIC. They've been really taking their time in the early part of the round, going for trickery, going for rotates, and it's been read well by FUT. So one way you can get ahead of that, just go right at them, and a great execute there, a great combo with the gravity well to take down Kiwi and to open up the A site. A good follow-up off the back of the lockdown here, just barely able to keep it alive.
I mean, it's all on the back of Alfier, as we'll see here in the replay. If he doesn't manage to find this kill, if he doesn't find the follow-up here, then this round absolutely could just have been flipped on its head, and it could have been FUT stringing together a 6th-1. See, Mini, I'm sure deep down inside is probably happy that they got the round win, but the fashion in which it occurred, that initial corner check coming out of Stewart being ignored, I'm sure those are the things that are contributing to his frustrations.
Well, it's been a rough one here in the last 6 rounds for FNATIC, but able to tie it back up. Kiwi this time going to be pushing that smoke potentially. There's that rolling thunder.
I mean, it's just basically solo onto Mr. Fallen, and he still stands his ground. Finds Durka. Kiwi dashes in the back, catches Chronicle off guard. Leo able to return fire on the one. The wingman still getting the stun. They know exactly where he's at. Spike on the floor, not being watched. But FUT going to be very happy with the situation they find themselves in now. The 2-man advantage.
Starting to spread the map a little bit here. Trying to see if they can find somebody. Nova Pulse to clear this angle for Leo. Got the spot on Mr. Fallen.
Trying for it, would have been a hell of a headshot.
I have the spike.
Can't quite get the timing, but the spike will be recovered. Just going to drift away from this side of the map. Boaster inching forward over towards Garage. Likely got close enough to be able to hear the alarm bot. So it's a pick your poison moment. Go for the save. Do you go for the B site? Looks like it's going to be the former.
30 seconds
Just tucked
left.
away. Back here into the attacker's spawn. Once again, have to allow for FUT to get themselves up to that lead. 6 rounds going to be locked in for them here in this opening half.
Yeah, and you got to look at the money that FNATIC has. Durka completely spent. And Leo not too far behind with his economy, so absolutely need to make sure they can come into this final round with everything, with all their forces online. And FUT at this point just happy to keep their guns over as their economy was getting very precarious as well. So nicely handled here by FUT once again. I mean, even with that rolling thunder, Kiwi able to push enough space up long. He's able to tuck in right behind the door. Get some big kills. That is just nasty. I mean, Alpha's been doing it to them a couple times, so turnabout's fair play. And a little bit of frustration on the side of Durka. And, well, yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, mouths agape across the board.
That was me,
then
too.
He just cannot believe it. And Crank's coming up with that headshot. The Breach 1 trick's going to be complaining, saying that Rolling Thunder needs to be buffed, et cetera, et cetera.
I think Boaster should hear this.
Oh, he definitely does. Kiwi's still occupying that space, and he's keeping Boaster busy. Out of captain now. Garage is going to be TPing out to safety. Drone chasing forward. You have a 3-man stack moving up into Garage. Durka lurking outside of B. Kiwi, however, going to fall. A great opening kill once again here from Alpha here, but out of captain fires back. Monge now finding Durka as well, and it is starting to crumble. Suddenly in the blink of an eye, it's Solon Leone cannot get it done. Mr. Fallen comes up with 3 to put FUT in a massive advantage as we get ready to go into FUT's attacking half.
Oh, and this is just a beautiful adjustment in the second half here, as in the second half of the first half here for FUT, as they start really reading and reacting to FNATIC's movements so well, shutting them down at every twist and turn. And every time it felt like FUT was getting hit by utility, they recovered so nicely. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, an unbelievable final round of the half there from Mr. Fallen. Let's go ahead and take a look at an interview with him. It was recorded just before.
Yani aslında ilk haritaya nazaran hani biraz daha aslında aim fight'ta da iyiydik. Ama iş ikinci haritaya geldiği zaman hani geri düşmüşlükle birlikte hani aslında çok çekindik. Biz savunma kısmında ikinci map'te birbirimizin treni alamamızdı bu kadar. Çünkü çok fazla tek denediler. Çok fazla bir vesel denediler. Bunları bizi maalesef cezalandırdılar. Aslında bir son hani böyle 12-1'den falan böyle geri dönerken aslında aim fight'ta kazanabildiğimizi gördük ama çok geç gördük. 12-1'den sonra yapacak bir şeyimiz yoktu. Yani açıkçası hani savunma kısmında neyin eksik olduğunu saldırı kısmındayken öğrendik. Her takımı aynı şekilde savunma yapamazsınız. Bazen oyun içerisinde o taktiğinizi değiştirmeniz gerekir. Bunu da artık biliyoruz ama eğlenceli maçtı benim için.
Would have had to have gone way out of his way to try to make it happen. Now the reveal coming through. Tag goes in. Paranoia connects and something dead as he tries to entry back down into the site. Fnatic captain with the recovered Spectre fight.
PPVX'te kaybettik ama belki FUT'ın oyun tarzı bize daha yakındır. O yüzden tam bir şey söyleyemiyorum. Hani şu olacağına var. Sosyal medyada geçen bir muhabbet vardı. Hani bir Türk mü yoksa 5 Türk mü daha kuvvetli diye. Hatta bunu bazen kanıtlamışlardı. Hani bir Türk her zaman daha iyidir. 5 Türk takımı bir şey yapamaz diye. Biz aslında buraya onların yani 5 Türk'ün bir şey yapabileceğini kanıtlamaya geldik. Tabii ki Alpha da çok kaliteli bir oyun. Kendisini çok seviyorum. Ama o gün kim iyiyse o kazanacak. Bakalım.
And we are back and ready to go into the second half. I mean, right there in the interview talking about it, saying, you know, I want to prove that 5 Turkish players can do something. You already have. Let's be frank about that. The accomplishment of getting to this position, yes, it's in a lower bracket, it's an elimination match, but making it into the top 8, already a hell of an accomplishment here for FUT, but they are hungry for more, and right now they are on the right track to get it done.
And look, think about the opponents that they've faced here so far in the playoffs.
Oh,
you had to go against Paper Rex, you pushed them to their limit on Ascent. Yeah, Pearl didn't go your way, but now you're pushing FNATIC, everybody, the team that everybody is looking at here to potentially win this event, of course.
2 tournament favorites.
Yes, exactly, the 2 tournament favorites. And you're giving them all they can handle on some of these maps. So you got to be real proud of FUT.
Well, let's see. Pistol rounds still have been eluding them. Can they get one here? One step closer to that bind where they have bested FNATIC before. Tailwind forward, Kiwi looking to just open things up here onto the site. Tries to get that catch on a Chronicle when he's got util in hand, but can't make it happen. Leo's got the covering fire from back site. Draws first blood, and instead it's just going to be a seaside pivot, but that is right into the open arms of Alfier. He's got a ghost, and he sat here, ready to strike.
Read so well by FNATIC. What in the world is that?
Comes up with 2. Boaster finding another. Had a captain swinging out. He's got a great catch onto him. Swaps out the weapons. Now needs to try to pivot around as best as possible. Gets a great catch onto Durka, the push up into the window. I thought for a second we were going to have a scary moment, but not to be. FNATIC will continue to be dominant in the pistols here today.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good news here for FNATIC and their fans that they have kind of cleaned up the pistol round issues. Right off the rip, you've got 3 members of FNATIC waiting at that B site. The alarm bot immediately alerts them to the rotation towards C. And everybody is swinging for FNATIC in that direction. And Alfier, we know that his aim is to be feared.
I mean, he's 17-7 and 0.
Yes, he's pretty good.
He doesn't share in kills. He takes them for himself.
Well, he just clicks heads. He's not going to give them over to anybody else.
They're looking to put some fast pressure down onto him. First shot with the Marshall here from Boaster. Not quite getting the connections they're looking for. Cracks and Kiwi. And the captain as well, taking a bit of damage, but they're just going to move up, clear out some of this util, and now pivot their way over towards the B site. Nano Swarms still situated, need to be cleared, dealt with. Looks like they are out of captain.
Oh, no!
He commits to the plant in the Nano. It wasn't taken out. Spam now into the smoke. Durka gets the Colette onto Maj and Kiwi. Mr. Fallen.
Right there.
Nothing else realistically here to be done. Doesn't have that Sheriff in hand, so perhaps can deal a bit of damage, find himself some eliminations, get closer to that rolling thunder. But inevitably, he needs to end up falling here in this round. He needs to go down, so.
And the patience there from Alfier to wait on that Nanoswarm. Not going to bite right off of that Omen TP. And gives them the advantage they need. Spike can't get planted. Mr. Fallen looking towards B, but Leo going to catch him right as he comes around the corner, and FNATIC is going to tie it up 7-7.
Prime Gaming flawless to do it, to get us tied up and to potentially take the lead if they can get yet another bonus conversion. We saw it in the pre-show. I mean, it was something around 70% bonus conversion, only bested by Paper Rex at 80. Durka, I mean, doing everything there. Clears out the Dizzy, hits the Collat on the 2. Absolutely demonic hold from him. Now, not much more pressure applied to FUT. Again, we talk about the momentum for this squad, how they need it. They haven't found it yet here at the start of the second half.
And FNATIC's going to upgrade a couple rifles, Boaster and Durka. Both going to grab some Vandals here to back up those Bulldogs, dropping the Marshals. For some upgraded firepower. Gonna clear that turret out. A little bit of damage done to Boaster. Alfier is just going to catch him in the corner, but somehow, Maj!
Stunned up, still finds the kill. Chronicle eventually gets on top of him, does find that kill. Quick damage exchange from Kiwi. Applying pressure around the back here as the C site has been opened up. All that KJ util worthless with Alpha on the floor. That captain watches around the back. Durka creeping closer and closer. He's got the headshot lined up and he's good for it. A good reaction. Finds the kill. Drone spotting 2. Checking close, sees nothing else. Has the shot to try to clear, but cracks. He's already made his exit. He's up on top of Plat, going for this high-low setup that works the treat. Poster caught. Kiwi looking forward into the smoke, looks for the timing, swing, and it's absolutely timed to perfection. Cleans them up, and FUT will reestablish the lead in clean fashion. Maj, the only casualty there, as they stop FNATIC from doing it again.
Just great post-plant setups here for FUT. Never giving FNATIC any opportunity to have any hope of that retake occurring. It's just so good. The way that they are now kind of getting that confidence. Their aim really, really online. Mr. Fallen and Cracks, at a captain, still carrying over where he left off. And it's everybody. It's a team effort here for FUT Esports. And now going to send up some Gecko utility to clear out long A, but again, it's going to be a B hit.
Action, do they watch for the backside? Now they're very well aware of it, but Chronicle still holds the line. Got the shot to try and dissuade the plant. Wingman moving forward, but it's going to be taken down by the final burst. Leo off on this A-link flank, spawning 1, gets the headshot onto Mr. Fallen. Alfier now strikes from the flank.
Spike down, B.
Storming into the site, Spike recovered. Back up here from Maj, an op shot. Going his way, not finding it, but the drone gets the tag. Just how do you even try to escape from here? There's no way out. Leo with a 3K ties us up once more now at 8-8.
And it all starts here with Kiwi getting noticed, and it baits a shot out from Leo, but he re-peaks the angle and it's just held to perfection. And that just opens things up. And then they just start falling. Leo, or not Leo, Chronicle, I think, in the back of the site. Leo there coming in getting those other 2 kills from the flank. But, I mean, FNATIC's done a great job locking this B site down here on this defender side every time, and it's been often that FUT has wanted to put pressure to try to get these plants down. They can't. It's nano swarms, it's aftershocks, it's the rifling that is preventing FUT from getting any ground on that site. Yes.
The timeout now forced.
That's the ugliest FUT I've seen. That is too many toes on that foot.
There's something wrong with it, but 8-8, pressure mounting. Guys wanting to pump the brakes here. Has had a hell of a lot more to get excited about in this map compared to Split, obviously. But they still need to be able to get this win, to get to bind, to have that hope. Still has one more timeout to play with, but he's hoping that this one is going to do the trick to get them back on track to right the ship.
And they're a couple orbs away from some big ultimates. The Rolling Thunder in particular for Mr. Fallen for FUT is the one I'm looking at. FNATIC does have Leo's Hunter's Fury available. So let's see what FUT is going to do. And right now I'm seeing a lot of them drifting in the A direction. Leo and Boaster going to be on A duty. Already a star coming down though, right at the point of contact outside of A main. Just going to be used to buy a little bit of time. That dart going to get a little bit of information that there's pressure here, and they're using those mosh pits to clear that long A, just like we saw with FNATIC using the gravity well to clear that spot. It's going to be kind of of course, with the agent compositional differences, FUT going to have to use a different piece of utility to do it, but still just as effective in some ways.
Flash in, clear on the turret. Alpha sends out some shots, so presence is noted. This is one of those rounds where you really wish that Kiwi just had those 2 extra kills to have the Blaze online, because then he could push a weapon over to Krax, because right now he does only just have that Sheriff in hand. The B site, widely ignored this time around from FNATIC. A little bit of time bought by the Nano Swarm, but the Wingman going to be sent forward. After shock through, can he get it in time? Yes, he can. Does his job. That crowd goes crazy.
We stand little buddy in this house. That's right.
Now the post plant setup. Time ticking away. FNATIC being quite slow on the approach of this one. The Hunter's Fury goes out the back. A little bit of friendly fire as Alfier says, yeah, I'll tank it, and it's worth it. Smudge goes down. Durka somehow readjusts, and Atacaptain cannot find the kill. Now Leo gets Kiwi. Swing out, shot gonna go a little bit wide, but again, it's just that Sheriff in hand, and somehow, some way, FNATIC regained the lead. A Prime Gaming flawless. What it looked like FUT had everything set up.
I mean, Durka finds a great kill there, and then it's Chronicle setting up Leo in the front of the site with a stun to really bust things open. Of course, that Hunter's Fury helps. Finding that opening pick onto Maj, that's a lot of that really crucial post-plant utility eliminated. Great recognition here of the positioning from FUT, and Gaius, yeah.
I mean, it's a brutal one.
He knows it, yeah.
Not getting that pick onto Durka as he swings out of the garage. That could be something that is haunting Atacaptain later tonight if they can't move forward and close out this map.
They're already past. They've already got 3 players on the other side of Durka here, and it's deep positioning for Chronicle and Leo.
But on the other side of that site, okay. Shot going a bit wide. Repeat, and Mr. Fallen finds the kill. I was going to say it's Chronicle and Leo that are waiting from the site. Could still very much prove to be a pain in the rear. The Rolling Thunder's going to crash across. Shock Dart out to try to get a bit of chip damage, and Chip does indeed. Atacaptain and Mr. Fallen both tagged low, and Leo sets himself up perfectly to be able to find that punish. Interrupts the plant, buys some more time for the rotations to come through, and brings this back into a 4v4.
And now Maj has the operator at long A to really cover this post plant. Here's those blades you were looking for, Achilleos. FNATIC waiting for Boaster to hustle over to this A site. Let's see if they can make this retake go.
I'm going to be spotting one, the Thrash. Sent. Jumps it out, doesn't get that suppression, but Kiwi finds his pound of fudge. 2 quick kills off the blades, gets the resets as well.
They gotta leave.
You would suspect that that is going to be the call. Can they get the catch? They're looking for it, they're ready for it. First couple knives not gonna get the hits. Cracks will end up going down as well. Atacaptain more than happy to give his life for the cause, but he's also very happy to take that gun away from Leo. Comes up with another kill. It's gonna be Maj. Left standing, operator carried over. MasterCard Thrifty has put Tyus up at 9-9.
Just another great round here from FUT. I don't know, that is one of the shakiest moments I've seen from Durka with an operator in a long time. Just slow to react there to that high positioning of Maj, and then kind of starts moving, so the aim even gets thrown off. That's unfortunate, and they're going to be able to keep that operator over. Kiwi, put that, see if you can put that to good use. Big investment now for FUT. Still some economy left for FNATIC. Bladestorm available potentially for Durka. And a captain does have from the shadows. Let's see if there's any more trickery abounding here, and you can really leapfrog that Gecko utility.
The orb
cover.
take, though.
Yeah.
Chronicle now, that Rolling Thunder online. Alpier is also just one away from having the lockdown. This is the thing, is that, yes, FUT, they get that thrifty. It's monstrous, and it's good that they get that, but they still did have to use 3 ultimates in order to make that happen. Stun across, covering fire, though. Bozer spamming through, managing to find cracks. There's Leo on the opposite side. Does get knocked down towards 19 HP.
Yeah, love the attempt with the wingman there to clear that corner, but FNATIC wise to it. Boaster doing a great job covering his teammate. Now looking again towards this B site, but if Chronicle can keep this Rolling Thunder in hand, this is, I think, is going to be really challenging for FUT.
Right there.
Ready for it. Sends it out. That's going to interrupt the plan. Maj was trying to get in front of it, but still gets dazed up. Ends up falling down. Out of captain in the backside. Boaster completely not aware of this position. Ends up dying. And that's going to be the TP out. Dodging on the aftershock. Gets himself situated over at C Long. Shock here into garage. The drop down. Alpier's got the tempo and he's got the double. Kiwi doesn't know what hit him. Thought he was safe, but Alpha catches him in the cloudburst. Gets the shutdown here onto Ada Captain. He was 1 away from having the lockdown, but he wasn't satisfied with just 1 kill. He wanted 3 of them, and by God, he got them. He also got FNATIC back into the lead.
Oh, I love the idea from Maj to try to get ahead of that Rolling Thunder, but he's just a step too late. Again, some good ideas here from FUT, but better reactions from FNATIC. And Alpha just trailing, hot on their heels, finds a huge double. And now the economy in a very shaky position for the side of FUT. It's only 1 rifle, a frenzy, and 3 classics. Of course, full rifles, a couple big ults as well, if needed for FNATIC, and still working this long C orb for Crack to try to get those thrashes back online. Maj 1 away from a lockdown potentially with this hero rifle. See if he can get anything done. They're going to use this smoke to cover the turret. Try to see if they could sneak into some space, but it's being watched by Leo.
Now they clear it, so they might not anticipate that somebody's this far forward, but the drone is going to be coming through. So yeah, Leo has a bit of a sense of this. Cracks in the meantime, tag up, stun through, Maj dead. Rifle recovered, Kiwi takes that one into his hand, but it's just left on the floor as Alpier will not allow them to have anything. 2 kills from him, Boaster holds down the site, a 3K from him. It's another Prime Gaming flawless as FNATIC are just 1 round away now from match point, and look at the treasure trove of ultimates that they have.
Exactly, just a really clean round there. And so nice to have a clean round in that situation with those ults being able to be kept in your back pocket coming into this. And Alpha has 25 kills, 25, 9, and 0.
And still 0 assists.
Hey, man.
he
is kind of
always finishes the job.
He is kind of the like anti-Killjoy in some ways. Like usually as Killjoy, you're getting a lot of, you know, a little bit of extra damage here and there with your nanos, with your turret, with your alarm bot to get those assists, but he's just too clean. He's just so clean with those headshots. Again, the best rifler in the world, period, end of story in my book. And that scoreline shows you why. He doesn't need anybody to help him. It's not like he starts a kill and doesn't finish it. He finishes it.
Yeah. The Baba Yaga of the Valorant world, the John Wick that everyone needs to fear. You just do not get away from this guy. FUT throwing everything now into this final timeout. They're in a possible position to be able to get this run back, to stop it from even going to overtime. Yes, it would be 4 consecutive round wins, but they've already shown at the beginning of this map they're capable of stringing things together, but the momentum has been so broken up in this second half. Only 2 rounds so far on the attacking side. A lockdown to work with, damn near full buy, just 2 players working with those half armors. And can they get it done, or do FNATIC get to map point?
And it's gotta be here for FUT, because their next buy is gonna be scuffed if they lose this round. Their economy's in shambles. So already trying to dodge around this star. Boaster, once again, clearing out this turret of Maj. Trying to put some pressure on. Really taking a lot of space here is FNATIC. This is where they found some success against Loud.
Lockdown going to be used. Alpha here just looking to force them away from the A site. They're already pushed up quite a bit, but they have to back away. They have to respect this one, and everybody's just going to be tucked into a corner. Leo identifying the position of one. Aftershock thrown through, Boaster swing on, managing to find that elimination. Gets that whittled down towards 8 HP though. Answering Aftershock to try to shove them back, but FNATIC stunned up, ends up falling. Alpier as well though, dead on the site. Singular kill found, damage dealt. The man advantage still there for the side of FNATIC. Pushing forward, they can clear out the rest of Long, the updraft. Spots one. Sees cracks. Fault line goes through. Bit of spam, the swing up, cracks, holding his ground. Takes out Durka, but Chronicle answering back. Finds that elimination. Mr. Fallen needing to win the fight against Boaster. He's just got 8 HP. Gets the timing though. Dissipates the Nebula. Catches him off guard, and Kiwi cannot get it done. Leo will get the defuse, and FNATIC will get themselves up to match point.
What absolutely beautiful timing on that lockdown from Alfier. He catches FUT in such an awkward spot where they cannot go to clear that lockdown fast enough because he gets that one kill. It buys enough time. Then they all get stuck into one corner, and absolutely FNATIC fully aware of that positioning, fully aware of the timing they have to set this up, to clear that other corner at A main, to make sure that Maj is dealt with, and then from there, just come from so many different angles. And Mini, I don't think you got to be too upset about that round. I think that went pretty well for your team. But really, just, again, that all comes down to that individual decision-making from Alfier.
Oh, God.
It's Odin time.
I mean, Maj tagged up a little bit, but still going to be alive.
They missed him.
It doesn't check Alfier. The stun in, and this might just bait them, but somehow cracks, taking out the Aftershock, perfectly placed by Chronicle. Finds him while he was using the ultimate. Now swings out, gets Maj, gets Kiwi! Chronicle, absolutely dominant. It's now all of a sudden it's just Mr. Fallen left with a Spectre in hand, and Durko with the up shot will put him down. FNATIC, they get the job done, they begin the run. 13-9, they eliminate FUT from Champions.
FNATIC looking back into form here, especially on Split. An absolute masterclass on that map, and we go over to Haven, where FUT gives them one hell of a fight. They really threw everything they had at FNATIC, and FNATIC had to dig deep at times to find a response. And you got to give so much credit here to FUT. You've got to love what they showed us here at this event.
Absolutely, everybody give them a round of applause. It's been an absolute pleasure to have them here on this stage. Unfortunately, here for a good time, not a long time, but it has been fun watching these guys on their run, making it into the top 8. And what a rough draw. Paper X into FNATIC. The odds stacked against them, but they still did damage. They show that those teams can bleed. They can play them close. On the likes of Ascent, on the likes of Haven. But FNATIC looks like they are no longer reeling. They are right back into the groove of things after that loss to Loud.
FNATIC looked crisp to me today. A lot of their util combos looking on point. The aim looking much better here today. So impressed with their ability to bounce back after a really difficult loss.
Oh.
And oh, hey now, he stole his trophy. That's not okay, Mini. Give the man his trophy back. Okay, all right. We're good now. It's all okay. But really, this is the FNATIC I think we're used to knowing and loving.
Yeah, I mean, just a strong performance there. Alfier in particular, good God, what a performance from him. But, I mean, there's plenty to talk about. We can only see so much, but the analyst desk, they got plenty to say, so we're going to go ahead and throw it back over to them.
Thank you so much, fellas. Yes, FNATIC walk away with the win, and you know what, Paula, they looked fantastic doing it. It feels like FNATIC found their groove, but obviously still more to play, obviously.
Yeah, I think that was a good recovery from FNATIC. Early on, it looked a little weak, but I think FUT put up a good showing in that second map. They looked really good in terms of actually capitalizing on some of the mistakes that FNATIC were playing, and some of the players really stepped up as well.
Yeah, that's right. But before we say goodbye to FUT Esports, let's go ahead and give them the Verizon high-speed moment. You know, gotta love this Turkish aim here from our colleagues over on FUT, because Sideshow, there were great, executions. There were great moments here, and obviously there were times where FNATIC were kind of struggling a bit to like figure out how to get the better of FUT in these gambits. But credit to them, they kept it competitive.
Yeah, I mean, look at the way in which they're taking these engagements, the chaos that they injected into it. Found some moments actually where they really pushed FNATIC, and I think they've exposed a bit of a weakness in FNATIC's map pool here. Haven, while FNATIC have beaten Zeta and Billy, they actually really got tested in this. Even the pistols and the bonuses that they were winning didn't look as solid, and I think that's credit to FUT. They got a really rough draw, as Achilles was saying. Paper X into FNATIC is about as brutal as it can possibly get for a team, and they did what they should have hoped to achieve at this tournament. They got out of groups, made top 8, and have become the best Turkish team that we've seen. They're definitely at the top of their region.
Yeah, I think they performed really well with all the circumstances like you're mentioning, and they have become a historic Turkish team. But it's also true that FNATIC is now, unfortunately, a one-team region.
Yeah.
It's official.
Yeah. 2 Americas teams in the uppers, 2 Pacific teams in the uppers, 2 Chinese teams in the lowers. Don't worry, don't watch later on when one of them gets eliminated. EMEA officially one-team region.
Oh, look at that. Yinsu's somewhere seething right now. But, it is unfortunate that we have to say goodbye to FUT. Obviously, they have brought so much to the table here, and I do agree. This was a really rough run for FUT to have to go through, to have to just run into these brick walls time and time again. Looking forward to seeing what they could do moving forward, though. But for now, let's send it over to Doug, who's standing by with Chronicle for the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, GB Chronicle. Congratulations on the win once more. But before we get into this series, I want to talk about a couple of days ago. I want to talk about your series against Loud. We haven't really had the chance to talk about it. In your eyes, what went wrong in that series?
We just did a lot of small mistakes that went to this negative score for us. I mean, there is a lot of actually small mistakes. The match was kind of close, but without them, it might be a different, or maybe on a different day, the result might be different. But at the end of the day, we both reviewed everything. We know now on what we should work and how we should play our next matches. And you can see on this result, we played pretty well.
Yeah, you guys played pretty well, and you've taken care of FUT a couple of times throughout the year. So I do want to ask you about what preparation looked like going into this series, knowing you would just come off of what I think was your 2nd loss ever as this roster, leading into this series against FUT. What was preparation like?
Thanks to our coaches that we have in our team, we had some kind of express super rush, taking all the info about how they're playing against every team, and thanks to them, we prepared pretty good. We know that they were doing on both of the maps we played, so I think everything went pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so. It showed in the result. And the last thing I want to ask you is, looking forward, right? If you guys were to pull off this lower bracket run to win the Triple Crown for the first time in Valorant history, you're going against so many stakes, right? There's so much statistically that should suggest that you're not going to be able to pull this off. What is that weight like on your shoulders as you're the one who has to go through all this?
Honestly, no weight. And I'm not sure we can say that statistically it's bad, because as I said, against Loud, it was a really great game with a lot of high quality plays, a lot of maybe kind of unluck, and as I said, little mistakes that we did. So I mean, we still have all the chances to win this tournament, even though we will go through lower bracket. So we will see what will be in the next few days, because we have a next match in a few days also. So we'll see.
Congratulations on the win once more. Best of luck to you throughout the rest of the tournament. We'll be right back.
It's a regional David versus Goliath matchup. FUT obviously looking to try and extend their run here at Champions. A historic run for Turkish Valorant. But for FNATIC, they have one word on their mind: Dynasty. And FUT is the team that's in their way right now.
They throw everything at the kitchen sink and cracks, and he just absolutely crumbles. Maj arriving, will FUT be able to find 2? Keeping his way out of the vent, the plant coming down, but Chronicle! Boaster lurking around the back here of screens. Hasn't spotted Maj at all, but as the smoke dissipates, he will get him!
Take it out, bro. Well played.
They will send him packing, but Alfier as well. Shut down. Dog not getting the stun. The showstopper now going to be thrown forward. Kiwi is already dead. Alfier has dealt with him. Catches both, but he doesn't know that they're below. Alfier with 4 will drag FNATIC across the line off the back of the timeout. 13-5. They get the win on their map pick of Split. And he interrupted, no. Does manage to find one, gets 2, Maj on for the clutch. It's Leo to deal with it, he's got him! Tries to send down that supportive smoke, ends up getting caught by Boaster. Plays out from Kiwi, comes up with 2, swing onto the corner, puts some damage down. Trying to isolate, but can't quite get it done. Kiwi with a perfect rotation, gets himself in pole position. Leo off on this A-link flank, spawning 1, gets the headshot onto Mr. Fallen. Alfier now strikes from the flank. Just how do you even try to escape from here? There's no way out. Shock here into Garage, the drop down. Alfier's got the tempo and he's got the double. Thought he was safe, but Alpha catches him in the cloudburst. FNATIC, they get the job done. They begin the run. 13-9. They eliminate FUT from Champions.
FNATIC looking back into form here.